The internet has been buzzing nonstop with shocking news. There are rumors that Mendeecees forced Mina to end her pregnancy, and now there is an audio leak that has everyone talking. Fans are horrified, and their emotions are running high as rumors of social media is dominated by treachery, heartache, and deception. As friends and insiders weigh in on this explosive drama, the family is reportedly left divided. Was this a desperate attempt to preserve a reputation, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Today, we're looking into Be Prepared For. This story is far from done, and what you're about to hear will make you reevaluate everything you believe to be true about Erica and Mendeecees. We're delving deeply into these accusations, examining every step and revealing the true feelings behind this startling claim. Stay tuned as we solve the mystery surrounding the audio leak that is rocking the hip-hop and love world to its foundation. The rumors began subtly, like a whisper between insiders and reality TV viewers who always seem to know more than they should, but they have now exploded into a raging controversy. It is impossible to ignore the combustible topic circulating on social media and in every fan forum. Did Mendeecees indeed pressure Mina to end her pregnancy? Now, with the purported audio leak making its online admirers are inconsolable, as they attempt to comprehend the emotional turmoil erupting behind the scenes. It all started a few months ago, when Mina abruptly withdrew from the spotlight. She had been posting ambiguous and mysterious messages on her Instagram stories. Quotations about loss, betrayal, quiet, and rediscovering strength after destruction. Many people thought she was coping with the typical celebrity drama, such as a breakup or another quarrel. But then a rumor emerged from someone who claimed to be close to the matter, saying Erica had been pregnant and then she wasn't. The internet went crazy as soon as the news started to circulate, with thousands of followers guessing about the father's identity and pointing fingers at a single person named Mendeecees. Their relationship had previously been the focus of rumors, but this was the revelation of a purported audio tape was what really tipped the scales. It wasn't just about a brief affair or a tumultuous love triangle, it was about a baby and a decision that might not have been hers. The footage released appeared to record a heated and agonizing exchange between Erica and Mendeecees. The audio, which was swiftly and anonymously published on dozens of platforms, has a man who is thought to be Mendeecees telling the woman, "This ain't the proper moment." You know what? The female voice, purportedly that of Erica, responds with, sobs, "But it's not just about you anymore." This will do to all we've established to everything I have going on? Fans quickly came to their own conclusions despite the fact that the recording's authenticity has not been verified. The emotional intensity of the interaction felt genuine and unfiltered, and it coincided with the period of Erica's social disengagement. People close to Erica said she was taken by surprise when this turned into a devastating narrative of claimed emotional pressure management and loss. The pregnancy wasn't intended, but she thought they could work it out together, according to pals. She believed that Mendeecees would eventually change his mind and support her choice, or at the very least, embrace it. However, sources claim that almost immediately after, Mendeecees became aloof, combative, and cold. He stopped returning her calls, shunned her public appearances, and pushed to keep things quiet. According to an insider, Erica spent weeks feeling conflicted and unsure. She didn't want to betray herself, but she also didn't want to lose him. She was already bonding with the life developing inside of her and envisioning a future that suddenly seemed unattainable. Weighed heavily on her, and others who met her at the time reported that she appeared to be a totally different person, emotionally spent, reclusive, and barely able to hold herself together. The audio leak, whether it was genuine or not, set the whole thing on fire. Fans have flooded Mendeecees and Erica's comments on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok with accusations, questions, and emotional outbursts. While some are supporting Erica and praising her for her bravery and resiliency, others are demanding answers from Mendeecees. asking how someone who proclaims such a scandal might include family values. As for Mendeecees, he has been notably silent, making no explanations, declarations, or even denials. His most recent posts have been motivational quotations and unrelated fitness routines, commercial endeavors, but the comment sections are a battleground. Fans bombard every post with questions like, "Is the audio authentic? Did you actually harm Erica? Why won't you speak up?" Naturally, there is Yandy Smith-Harris as well. According to sources close to the couple, Yandy learned about the leaked tape immediately, just like everyone else online, and the repercussions was fast. However, she hasn't. A member of her inner circle has publicly noted that she allegedly approached Mendeecees behind closed doors and asked to know the truth. Did he have an affair with Erica while they were still together? Did he pressure her into making a decision she didn't want to make? Was there a baby? Fans are now wondering if this could be the beginning of the end for one of reality TV's most iconic couples. The insider claimed that Yandy was devastated and humiliated by the scandal, especially with the world watching. She has reportedly stopped staying at the house and distanced herself from Mendeecees' current projects. For her part, Erica has gradually made her way back to social media. She hasn't posted much, just a few heartfelt sayings and pictures of herself with loved ones, but it's obvious that she's attempting to find some peace. One post that particularly moved fans was a straightforward image of a candle burning next to a folded baby blanket. "Some goodbyes are never spoken," was the description. Within minutes, followers showered the post with supportive and loving words. Although the truth behind the audio is still unknown, the impact of this story is undeniable. Fans feel betrayed, some feel protective of Erica, and others are disillusioned by it. Some interpret the photo as a silent tribute to the pregnancy she may have lost. Mendeecees and nearly everyone are in dire need of answers, but nobody appears willing to provide them at this time. The problem keeps getting worse as more alleged insiders come forward, stoking the flames. Some say there is more audio, more evidence, and even texts that demonstrate Mendeecees' aggressive efforts to have him fired. Others claim it's all part of a coordinated effort to damage his reputation, but in the midst of all the chaos, one thing sticks out: Erica's suffering. Regardless of the veracity of the accusations, it's obvious she's been through something extremely traumatic. As this chapter comes to an end, it leaves a whirlpool of questions. What will happen next? Will there be more leaks? Will Mendeecees eventually confront the issue? Will Erica be able to move over her heartbreak? Will Yandy keep stand by her partner or leave the mayhem permanently? The drama has only just started, and if history is any guide, the next turn of events is imminent. Fans are anticipating and getting ready for what seems to be one of the most intense and contentious stories the reality TV industry has ever witnessed. As the days went by and the audio kept spreading, the tempest only became stronger. The longer Mendeecees remained mute, the more people believed that the rumors were true. For many, speculation turned into reality, and a fresh round of responses from those with knowledge of the matter, including bloggers, influencers, and even former Love and Hip Hop cast members, began to pour in, each with their own interpretation of what might have transpired between Mendeecees and Erica. With each new voice, the story became slightly more twisted. One particularly explosive moment occurred when a well-known gossip blogger went live and claimed to have had a direct conversation with one of Erica's friends. The blogger described a supposed late-night phone call between Erica and Mendeecees, during which Erica allegedly begged he shut her down after she told him that she was selfish and that she was endangering his entire life by keeping the baby. She told him that she didn't care what people thought and that she was prepared to become a mother once more, with or without him. Would never speak to her again. The comments section of that live stream was full of heartbroken fans and shocked emojis. Some fans didn't want to believe it, insisting there had to be more to the story. Others were incensed, accusing Mendeecees of being manipulative and putting his image before Erica's emotional and. Live stream lasted only about 15 minutes, but by the time she concluded, it had clips that were more than sufficient. Were already being shared on all platforms. Her words were republished by fans, influencers, and media outlets who analyzed her tone, pauses, and the sorrow in her eyes. The response was swift and overwhelming, with fans flooding her comments with support, admiring her vulnerability and strength, while others told their own tales of being hushed and under pressure, and yet others called for Mendeecees to be held accountable. Then, as if the internet wasn't already in disarray, someone posted another voicemail, this one longer and more damning than, "You knew what this was. You knew what we had to protect. This ain't about love. This is about survival. If you care about me at all, you'll do what needs to be done," said the voice in the first one, which sounded almost exactly like Mendeecees. Be completed. The backlash was fast and severe, with fans and followers intensifying their criticism of the emotional pressure, manipulation, and evident reputation over accountability. Mendeecees, who was previously respected for his family values and redemption story, was now being portrayed as a villain in a drama that was more realistic than any reality TV narrative. According to insiders, his team was frantically purportedly pleaded with him to make a statement to at least attempt to clarify or explain the issue. But one source claims that he is trapped since he knows that no matter what he says, it would seem bad. Meanwhile, there were speculations that legal action might be imminent. Depending on the circumstances surrounding the leaked audio and messages, some conjectured that Erica was thinking of suing him for coercion or defamation in addition to emotional distress. Bloggers and legal experts debated whether or not the leaked tapes could be used as proof, and the possible repercussions for Mendeecees should Erica take formal action, a courtroom confrontation, only fueled the flames. Then there was Yandi, who had not yet made any public statements, asserted that she and Mendeecees were now living apart. According to an insider, they aren't formally split, but things aren't going well. She is concentrating on the children and her own recovery. This circumstance had a negative impact on her, and the public's perception kept even among the skeptics. There was a common belief that something wasn't right, that at the very least, a woman had been harmed, coerced, and abandoned. While many people backed Erica, others questioned why she hadn't come forward sooner and the reasons behind the leaks. To deal with the fallout alone. The crisis also spread to the world of celebrities, with other reality stars weighing in on the subject. Some expressed their displeasure with Mendeecees, while others supported Erica. One former castmate remarked, "This ain't the man we thought we knew. He must take responsibility and make amends if the recordings are authentic." Fans persisted, in going through previous Love and Hip Hop episodes in search of warning signs or red flags, where Mendeecees might have alluded to a different aspect of himself. They cited small conversations, odd absences, and casual comments that, looking back, seemed to paint a different picture. The internet had become a virtual courtroom, and everyone was waiting for the next revelation about how painful Erica's condition had become. In the midst of all the chaos, Erica stayed calm. She didn't post any more stories or go live again. Instead, she vanished. Public property and Mendeecees' silence was being taken as guilt from social media entirely, leaving fans worried and fervently invested in her welfare. What began as a single audio recording that was leaked had now developed into a full-scale public reckoning, with families shaken, reputations on the line, and as the days became a tense and emotional blur, fans observed something even more unnerving. Mendeecees' silence had grown deafening. Rumor and revelation. A woman who had been hurt, pressured, and silenced was now gradually recovering her voice. Posted anything that hadn't gone live and hadn't tried in any way to address the escalating controversy that was now dominating headlines and timelines. Even those who had previously defended him were starting to wonder why someone had made such a serious accusation, and now would prefer to stay hidden rather than defend themselves in light of 2 leaked recordings. The pressure to react was mounting when, in a surprising turn of events, a former friend of Erica came forward. She uploaded a video that started with her obviously hesitating. "I didn't want to get involved," she stated, expressing emotion. "But I was there and witnessed what she went through, and it's killing me to see people question her." She asserted that she had seen the Erica's companion said tearfully, even though she didn't go into graphic detail, her words were enough to reignite the firestorm around the phone. Erica had gone through the late-night phone calls, the crying in bathrooms, the isolation she didn't deserve that no woman does. Scenario: the video was picked up by media outlets within hours. Headlines blared with terms like, "New testimony," "Backs Erica and Mendeecees facing more heat," "Friend confirms emotional trauma." As the clamor for accountability got louder, fans flocked to social media to vent their newfound rage. More individuals started criticizing other love and hip-hop. Cast members questioning why so many remained silent and why no one from the It was no longer just about guys. It was about a system of silence that allowed these things to fester unchecked. Inner Circle had come forward to either support or criticize what was happening. Then, the biggest bombshell yet, a third audio clip, came. Appeared. It wasn't from Erica or an unnamed source, but it was purportedly released by someone within the Love and Hip Hop production team. The recording was muted, perhaps captured covertly during a private cast meeting, but the voices were unmistakable. One of them was Mendeecees. Mendeecees, who sounded like a showrunner, was heard in the video stating, "You know what happens if this gets out? It's horrible for all of us. We had to spin this the proper way. I can't have this ruin me." The other person answered, "We might." Even though it was just 30 seconds long, the ramifications were enormous. Immediately, charges of a selfish person were made. Cover-up started to spread, and fans and analysts were furious that network producers might have attempted to protect Mendeecees rather than face the facts. Hashtags like Chew Shut Down LHH and Chewer Protectica were popular, and some fans even started launching petitions calling for VH1 to act or provide an official statement. Others vowed to stop watching the show altogether unless someone was held accountable. The producers, who were caught utterly unprepared, issued a vague and carefully written statement stating that they were aware of the content that was going around and that they were doing an internal review. But for the majority of fans, it wasn't enough. The harm had already been done, and people no longer saw hip-hop and love as merely reality TV. Instead, it became a symbol of how in the name of entertainment and image management, women's suffering is frequently dismissed. But what about Yandhi? Although she had mostly kept quiet during the scandal, a new development thrust her into the spotlight when she was seen leaving a courthouse with a visibly tense expression as paparazzi flocked to her, asking pointed questions. "Are you divorcing? Were you aware of the recordings? How do you feel about Erica's story?" She didn't say anything. She just got in her car and drove off, but the picture was all over the place in a matter of minutes. Fans analyzed her body language, pointing out the stress lines on later that night. She put a single statement on her account, which was enigmatic, but fans interpreted as a sign. "Sometimes quiet is the loudest scream." Her face, the way she avoided eye contact, was described as heartbroken by some, as angry by others. Something had changed. Although it was not confirmed, insiders speculated that Yandhi had reached her breaking point and that the courthouse visit had something to do with custody agreements or legal protection. Meanwhile, Erica continued to live off the radar, but her supporters weren't letting up. Started talking, including a former college roommate, a family member, and even a therapist who was unable to divulge specifics but acknowledged severe emotional trauma that required years to start recovering from. The story was starting to turn more and more in Erica's favor, and the more isolated Mendeecees got, the more people joined together in support of her. Some fans started making timelines that included every public encounter between Erica And Mendeecees comparing previous episodes' likes on social media and now even podcast interviews he had done over the years. Physical health. In contrast, Erica's silence was criticized for saying, "How can a man who claims to be about family turn around and push a woman into something so painful I'm sick?" Both painful and compelling, she published pictures of herself in nature, traveling alone on woodland paths and beaches, without directly addressing the audio, rumors, or the escalating commotion. In an attempt to understand her feelings and her hidden truth, thoughtful fans started reading into each post. In fact, one picture had her kneeling in a field of wildflowers, eyes closed, with the remark, "What grows after the storm is what matters most." It was enough to bring her fans to tears, but then something unexpected occurred. A new recording was leaked, apparently a voicemail rather than a conversation. "You think you can trap me? Really, you think I'm about to let all this fall apart because you made a mistake I told you what to do? Don't make me say it," the man's voice on the tape said, in the brief but powerful message left by Mendeecees. Once more, the leak spread like wildfire, and even though its veracity was questioned, the harm had already been done. People started to see Mendeecees in a different light. Not friends of Erica started coming forward anonymously, talking to bloggers and even leaving clues on their own social media accounts. But as the reformed, grounded family man he showed on film, but as someone darker, colder, and more controlling. Another posted a selfie of herself and Erica holding hands and said, "She's stronger than you'll ever know, and no, we won't be quiet." Wounds don't bleed, but they still break you. It was becoming more and more obvious that Erica wasn't alone. A group of women were standing by her side, willing to defend her and possibly even defend her. Meanwhile, there were whispers circulating regarding Mendeecees, and according to one insider, Mendeecees was upset about the recordings being made public and thought someone close to him was attempting to damage his reputation. It appears that the leak had created tension within his staff, with several members feeling caught off guard by the outcry. He allegedly began to distance himself from some of his long-standing friends, even canceling a few scheduled appearances and interviews. The conflict apparently also affected his home life, but Yandy stayed. The situation is messy, emotional, and goes against everything she's worked so hard to create. She's hurt, confused, and publicly silent sources said she was struggling behind the scenes. One insider said she didn't sign up for this. Yandy is all about building her brand, empowering women, and staying classy, and she's not sure who to trust at the moment. Fans noticed that Yandy and Mendeecees hadn't been spotted together for weeks. Previously active with family videos and joint postings, their online relationship abruptly cooled off. Yandy ceased to add to the drama. Another former Love and Hip Hop cast member took to Instagram Live with a mysterious message. People always want to talk about loyalty. For many, liking his posts and him stopping to appear in hers was all the confirmation they needed that something had undoubtedly gone wrong behind closed doors. Although the person never gave their name, viewers quickly assumed it was a covert reference to Mendeecees and the unraveling chaos around him. However, they only mean it when it's convenient. You guys don't even know the half of what's really going on behind those filtered pictures. When Erica was seen in a California wellness retreat, photographers were able to get a few far-off pictures of her strolling around a garden while wearing flowing white and surrounded by other women. She appeared calm, if not entirely recovered, and many admirers took that as a sign that she was attempting to move on, but others were concerned about how she must be feeling, the betrayal, the emotional strain, the ongoing public scrutiny, and then the bombshell arrived. An anonymous user posing as a former Mendeecees assistant wrote a Mendeecees allegedly panicked when he found out about the pregnancy and started planning strategies to persuade Erica to end it out of concern that it would damage his family's reputation and interfere with his business dealings. According to a thorough Reddit account that claimed he had been involved in a covert relationship with Erica while still publicly committed to Yandy. The level of detail sent readers chills, even though the account couldn't be verified. By this point, fans were split. Some were still demanding accountability, pleading with Erica to reveal everything. Others were concerned about her mental health, insisting that she owed no one her suffering. And many turned the quiet from Mendeecees' side. Was deafening. Media outlets started covering the topic cautiously, using terms like alleged leak reportedly, and Mendeecees urged him to speak up to apologize if it was true, or to defend himself if it wasn't. Sources claim that even TMZ and The Shade Room covered it, albeit neither publication went so far as to directly accuse anyone. Nevertheless, the headlines were sufficient to keep the fire going with each article, repost, and screenshot of Erica's heartfelt remarks. The tale became more dramatic. There was no turning back now. What had begun as whispers had evolved into a public reckoning, exposing Erica's suffering, and whether on purpose or not, her silence had taken on a life of its own, one that felt more potent. More than any uttered words, Mendeecees, who had previously been viewed as a man who had been redeemed but now found himself in the center of an uncontrollable storm, supporters pondered what would happen next. Would further leaks come to light? Would Yandy finally speak? Would Erica reveal her version of events? The internet anxiously anticipated the next turn in a story that seemed far from over. However, just when everyone believed that things had peaked, a shocking discovery sent shockwaves through the whole. Erica's cryptic Instagram posts sent admirers into a frenzy late one night. The first story included a close-up of her eyes, which appeared to be crying, with the message, "Truth always finds the light. You said you'd be there and don't act like this wasn't real," was written in a somewhat blurred screenshot of a text thread on the following slide, which was much more intense. Although she did not identify the senders, fans quickly assumed that the messages were meant for Mendeecees. Screenshots of her story started to circulate on theories were flying in on Twitter as users were analyzing every pixel and punctuation mark. Some fans thought Erica was finally getting ready to speak out, while others thought she was alerting Mendeecees that she had more receipts to drop hashtags like Erica. The pressure was now boiling over, according to behind the scenes. People close to Mendeecees who said he was absolutely spinning. One insider said he didn't anticipate things to blow up the way it did, believed that, like previous rumors, it would go away, but this time it's different. The texts, the audio, the way Erica is managing it. He's losing control of the story, and he knows it. Reports began to circulate that Mendeecees had enlisted the aid of a crisis management team to help him deal with the matter, claimed to have counseled him to keep quiet, avoid public appearances, and draft a well-crafted statement in the event that Erica went public. But Mendeecees resisted, saying he still believes he can resolve this in private, according to a source. He only speaks to Erica one-on-one, and she will back off, but it might be too late for that. Meanwhile, Yandy's quiet was beginning to speak loudly. Her social media accounts had all but vanished, save for one post featuring a picture of her. Ids. Fans understood the subtle message conveyed by the statement, "They're the only truth that matters." Some interpreted it as her attempt to distance herself from the drama. Then came the moment that changed everything. Erica went live on Instagram Live late one evening, her face naked and her hair fastened, while others saw it as a sign that she was hurt and perhaps caught off guard by the discoveries. "I didn't plan to do this," she started, her voice quivering a little. "But I'm tired." Thousands of viewers joined in a matter of seconds, flooding the comment area with heart emojis, prayers, and appeals for her to share her tale. Of having everyone else explain it to me. She inhaled deeply before continuing. "I didn't request this position, and I didn't anticipate any of this to occur, and I most certainly didn't anticipate feeling so alone in it." Although she didn't specifically name Mendeecees, it was painfully obvious to whom she was alluding. She talked about being betrayed, feeling like a fool, and being forced to make decisions that still troubled her. "Stuff I can't unhear," she said softly. "I was given the impression that my life and emotions were unimportant, that I was disposable, and that I posed a threat to someone's reputation. Everything was scrutinized, and every smirk, contemptuous remark, and awkward silence appeared to have a purpose. He had transformed from a reality TV redemptive hero to a public monster virtually overnight, and then came the most heartbreaking video that was shared on Facebook. Erica's mother broke her silence, saying, "I watched my daughter suffer, and now the world finally sees it. No one can give her those years back." But prayers, apologies, and encouragement were posted in the comment area, and even celebrities outside of the love and hip-hop community started to respond. One actress commented, "I hope she finds peace." It was the kind of unadulterated maternal agony that struck right through the hearts of viewers. "We see you, Erica, and we believe you. You have a lot of guts to speak up after being silenced." Another tweeted, "Believe women when they tell you they've been pressured for a period." After what seemed like an eternity, a statement finally surfaced on Mendeecees' official Instagram. It read, "I've made mistakes, I'm not perfect. I never not meant to cause harm to anyone, so I will take some time to think things through and deal with this quietly." Fans were not happy, and they left a ton of irate comments on the post, requesting accountability, apologies, and explanation. Several people felt that it sounded vaguely self-centered, unapologetic, and contemptuous of the genuine accusations. The comment section turned into a battleground, with Erica supporters and those who thought males should be given an opportunity to defend himself. But as time went on, it became evident that most people had already decided to support Erica because the controversy had already altered everything. According to reports, Love and Hip Hop was also evaluating its future cast. Advertisers were reportedly retreating, and even reunion specials were being re-examined because of the toxicity surrounding the current cast. What started as a rumor turned into a movement, with people not only responding to a narrative, but also considering a culture that had long disregarded women's opinions in support of dramatic entertainment. Ultimately, nobody was able to describe what would occur next. Would Mendeecees fully express herself? Would Erica go back to Would Yandy abandon social media? Would the program endure this kind of scandal? Those inquiries lingered in the atmosphere like smoke from a still fire, burning, but there was no doubt that this would not go away. Silently, the whole or broken truth had sprung into the open, and now that everyone was watching, every move will be recalled, closely examined, and evaluated by the public, who had already made up their minds. As this emotional tornado keeps developing, one thing is certain: the story is far from finished. Audio, the heartbreaking testimonials, the intense fan responses, and the unsettling men's silence has left everyone wondering more than they have answered. Actually took place behind closed doors. Did Erica endure years of suffering in silence, gaining the confidence to speak up now? And how did those around them contribute to her staying or supporting her? Silent for reputational reasons, but some fans continue to wait for a more explicit message, or even a reconciliation. Some are calling for accountability from both men, and as more family members and insiders come forward, as well as from the entire system that made this possible. The reality is getting harder to deny. We would like to know if you think the audio leak proves what Erica went through. Do you believe Mendeecees should at last make direct declarations instead of using ambiguous posts and obscure language? What about Yandy? Is she trapped in a tempest she can't get out of, or is her quiet safeguarding the family? Please share your opinions in the comment section below. Your voice counts, and this discussion is about more than simply celebrity drama, about real people, real suffering, and having the guts to speak up when it matters most. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on if you're feeling as startled and heartbroken as we are. Alerts to ensure you don't miss the upcoming installment of this evolving tale, since if there's one thing we've discovered from this story illustrates that the truth can only be concealed for a limited amount of time.